Hello friends and welcome back to my channel. So today in this video I am going to discuss in detail about how we can buy the smartphone for astrophotography, or you can say that what is the best phone for astrophotography according to our budget. So in this video I am going to discuss in detail about every single point, that is what parameters we need to keep in mind while you are buying a phone for astrophotography, what features you need to look, and what additional features that are required to take good images. Because let's say if you invest in some phone that does not have, let's say for example, pro mode that is required for taking long exposure images, then you won't be able to take long exposure images. Okay, so every point is going to be discussed in this video today. You might have seen this video of mine. This video was made by me 2 years ago, but it is now outdated, and I've been receiving, let's say, replies and comments on that video that please make an updated version. So in this video I have made a detailed PowerPoint presentation, so I will be explaining you every single step, okay, turn by turn, so that you will get complete idea. And at the end I have also kept some of my images that are captured by me by using phone, and also some of the images that are captured by my friends. So please watch the whole video and don't skip any point, so that you will get complete information about it. And in this video only I will show you by, let's say, visiting some sites, that how you can see the specifications that are required for buying the phone which is good for astrophotography. So without wasting much time, let's begin our today's video. So friends, let's begin with the presentation, and you can see over here that I've made a detailed presentation, and I'm going to explain you every single parameter that is essential for selecting the phone which is good for astrophotography. So let's begin. So first of all, you can see in this slide that I have shown different images that I have captured by using my smartphone. First is the start rails, here you can see on left side. Then we have our own Milky Way galaxy, and third is the nightscape. The phone which I am using for astrophotography is Poco X6, and all these images are captured by that phone. You can see that how detailed these images are. So if you work with a proper phone under proper sky conditions and with proper settings, you can get some of the best images like this. Okay, so for selecting the phone for astrophotography, there are two main important points. First is the budget, okay, and the budget depends upon every individual. And second part is the camera features. Okay, you can see over here pro mode is there, sensor, then raw mode support, time burst mode, and many other features. So let's first begin with the budget portion. So according to my feasibility, I have divided the budget for smartphones in three different categories. First is low budget phones, second medium, and third is higher budget phones. So if I talk about low budget phones, then the price range of the low budget phones is from 10 to 20,000 rupees. And if I talk about US dollars, then it will be about 122 to 40 US dollars. Okay, so the brands that are available in this low budget range is Oppo, Vivo, Poco, Realme, and Samsung phones, that is Samsung Galaxy. Okay, the medium budget phones are ranging from 20 to 40,000 rupees, you can see over here, and which is equivalent to 240 to 480 US dollars. And you can buy phones like Xiaomi, Poco, Oppo, especially Reno series, Realme phones, OnePlus, and Samsung Galaxy in this range. And if I talk about higher budget phones, then the price range will be above 40,000, or you can say it will be about let's say above 500 US dollars. In this series, or you can say in this range, you can buy Samsung Galaxy, that is the Ultra series, S23 Ultra, S22 Ultra, Huawei, Xiaomi phones, some of the premium phones, okay, of Xiaomi and Huawei. So you can buy all those phones. So this category is solely given by me, okay, for let's say according to me, not by any person from, or let's say not by the electronics market. But if you talk to me that which phone is better for astrophotography, then I will say that if you can buy expensive phone, then it is okay, but if you don't, then it is not a problem, because you can still get some of the best images by using the low budget phones and medium budget phones. See, please keep one thing in mind, that astrophotography is divided into two parts. First is the capturing of images, and second is the processing. So the capturing of images part is about 30 to 40% only, while rest of the task is processing. You will need hours for processing. So about, let's say, 60 to 70% part is of processing. So once you have taken the images, how you process it, how you stack the images is very important. So it is not like that the expensive phones will give you let's say a drastically different image, but yes, if you work with proper knowledge, then you can get best images by using the low budget and medium budget phones also. All those images that you see over here are taken by a low budget phone which I am using. It is about of 80,000 rupees, 18,000 rupees. So you can see that you can get best images if you work with proper knowledge. So that's it. Okay, I will not stop you to buy the higher budget phone, but yes, if you can buy, then it's okay. It depends upon every individual that what budget he or she has for the smartphone. So let's move to the features part, or you can say the parameters that are important. So the first parameter is that the phone must have a pro mode. Why? Because we need to take long exposure images. Okay, see, night mode and pro mode are different. Night mode is not going to be used while taking the long exposure images. Night mode actually gives you, let's say, bright images or let's say enhanced images in the night, while pro mode is used to capture the long exposure images, let's say 1 second, 5 seconds, 10 seconds, 15, 20, 25, 30, so on. So pro mode is must. Without pro mode we will not be able to use it. Let's say, I mean, we will not be able to get long exposure images. You might have seen a DSLR. Then in DSLR we have a manual mode. The pro mode of the phone is somewhat similar to the manual mode of the DSLR. The difference is that in manual mode of the DSLR we can change the aperture, while here in the pro mode the aperture is fixed. Okay, you can see in this image that the pro mode looks like this. It has got, let's say for example, if I start from left side, it has white balance, focusing option. This S represents the shutter speed, that is your exposure time. Then we have ISO, exposure verification, and lens. So you can see over here that I have given the range that is good for, let's say, buying a phone. Once we have known that whether the phone is having pro mode or not, the next step is to check whether the pro mode has adequate features, or you can say adequate range of shutter speed and ISO, because that is also important. Let's say if we go under dark skies, bottle 2, bottle 3, then we need to increase the shutter speed. So if the shutter speed is available up to a limited range, then we will get a dark image. Okay, so it is better to have a wide range of shutter speed. So the minimum shutter speed, or you can say the fastest shutter range, that is up to 1 by 1000 or even 1 by 4000, and maximum shutter speed should be 30 seconds or 32 seconds. We will not be going up to 32 seconds because trails will start to form. Okay, so this is the shutter speed range that you need to check. Second is ISO, minimum is 100 and maximum can be up to 3200 or 6400, and the focus should have a manual control. Make sure if the focus is having auto control and not manual control, then the clarity issues will be there. Okay, so make sure the focus should be having manual control. Now a question may arise that how we can check that shutter speed is this range, ISO is the range. So I will tell you later on how to check it in the live version. Okay, so let's move to the next part. So how to define whether the phone is let's say containing pro mode or not. Then you can get an idea from the aperture of the main camera of the let's say rear main camera of the phone. Okay, you can see over here different aperture of camera lens are shown. So aperture depends, you can say it refers to the opening or you can say opening of the lens, and this will define that how much light will enter. The higher is the aperture, you can see over here. Okay, the less light will enter. I mean the less is the opening of the let's say lens, the less light will enter, and the more is the opening, the more light will enter. So we have to just keep in mind, we have to check the let's say aperture of the rear main camera of the smartphone. If the value, you can see over here that aperture is defined in terms of f-stops, this denominator value should be less than 2.0. That means f by 1.9, f by 1.8, 1.6 and so on. If that denominator value is less than 2, then you can select that phone, and I am assuring you that that phone will have shutter speed at least up to 20 to 25 seconds or even up to 30 seconds. My phone is having 1.89, that is aperture f by 1.89, so it is having up to 30 seconds. So similarly other phones will be also having it. So that is clear. Okay, we will see later on how to check it. Now here are the range of shutter speed and ISO that I told. In my phone the lowest range is 1 by 4000, that is the fastest shutter, and maximum it can go up to 30 seconds, that is the slowest shutter. If I talk about ISO range, then minimum is 100 in my phone and maximum is 6400. if 3200 is also there, then you can still buy that phone. Okay, the other parameters are, second is the raw mode support. See, raw mode support is very important nowadays because the phones are getting advanced, and as a result of that, the raw mode is also available in many of the phones. So if raw mode is available, then you will be able to capture raw images, and during stacking you will get a better output as compared to the JPG images. See, raw images are containing the actual data that is captured by the phone's sensor. Okay, so it is better to have raw images for stacking as compared to the JPG images. So make sure raw mode is also there. Nowadays Redmi, Realme and Poco phones are almost having the raw mode. Okay, this you can say that a set of options will be common in Realme, Redmi and Poco phones. I have checked the phones, okay, of Poco, Redmi and Realme brand, so I have found out that it is almost same. Third is the sensor of the rear main camera. It is somewhat important because as far as I have seen that the Sony sensor, or you can say the Sony company's sensor, are very good while capturing the images. My phone is Poco X3, so you can see over here I have searched the camera sensor for my phone. It is 64 megapixel Sony Exmor IMX682 sensor. Advanced version IMX882, 884 are also available nowadays in some of the phones. Okay, so we will also see that in the later part. So if the phone is having Sony sensor, then it will fetch you a good image. Okay, as far as I have seen, it may be possible that other sensors are also good, but as far as I have seen, Sony sensors are quite good. So it is somewhat important, I will say. Okay, so sensors are also important. And then we have the time burst mode. This is a let's say better option for having let's say to capture multiple images. You can see over here, by using the time burst mode, we can capture at least 10 images and maximum up to 600 images in one go. And the interval without exposure is from 1 second to 60 seconds. This time burst mode will allow you to capture multiple images. Say, let's for example, if I want to capture 300 images, then I will have to click on the shutter button again and again. I have to tap again and again until I have captured 300 images. For this time burst mode, it becomes easier. Okay, if we use time burst mode, then we just have to select the number of images that we want to capture and the interval between two images without exposure. Once it is done, we have to just click on this shutter button once, and the phone will start to capture the images, and it will not stop until it has reached the final image. Okay, so this is how the time burst mode will work. So it is very important. Nowadays Poco phones, Realme and I think some Redmi phones are having this time burst mode, so it is good to buy those phones. Now we have seen that all the parameters. Now the question arises that how to check this all. So here I am giving you a universal method that you can use for let's say checking all those phones. Okay, even if you don't have the let's say live version of the phone in your hand. So for that you have to first open Google Chrome, and let's say if I want to buy the Realme phone. Okay, so I will search, and let's say if my budget is low budget, so I will search Realme phones under 20,000 rupees. Okay, so it will show me some of the phones. So you can see over here that Realme 12 plus 5G is there, Realme Narzo series is there. Okay, so let's say if I search for Realme 12 plus 5G, then what I have to search? Realme 12 plus 5G, and then you have to let's say type specifications. Okay, so once it is done, we have to scroll down in the results and just click on this site called GSM Arena. You can still visit the phone's actual site, that is the company's site, but I'm preferring this GSM Arena because it is giving me all the details in one let's say page. So after clicking on this GSM Arena site, we have to scroll down and come to the main camera features to find out the aperture. So you can see over here that the main camera features are shown. Okay, it is having dual camera. Okay, and the megapixel is 108. Okay, any phone that has 64 or beyond 64 megapixel, or you can say let's say up to 50 or more than 50 megapixel main camera, that is the rear camera, you can buy that phone. It will fetch you good images. And here the aperture is f by 1.8. I told you that this value should be less than 2.0, and it is somewhat similar to my phone. It is also having 24mm wide. Okay, wide angle camera. So you can buy this one. This one will definitely have a shutter speed range up to 30 seconds. Okay, my phone is having this value as 1.89, and still it has got 30 seconds. So here it is 1.8, so it will definitely be having the 30 second shutter speed. So this is how you have to find out the aperture of the main camera, that is the rear camera, and then you will get to know. Make sure you don't check the selfie camera shutter, let's say aperture. We have to search for the main camera only, okay, and that to the wide angle camera, not the ultra wide and not the deep depth camera, okay. So this is how you have to find out the aperture, and by this you will get to know that yes, this phone is having a high range of shutter speed. Now comes the sensor part, okay. You can search like this, like Realme 12 Plus 5G main camera sensor, okay. So you have to just search for it and you will get the details like this. So you can see that it has LYT 600 as the main sensor, okay. I'm not aware about this, but let's say search for another phone. Let's say I'm searching about Redmi, yes, Redmi Note 13 5G main camera sensor. So it will also show me different sensor, okay. So right now all these phones are having different sensors, but if I search for, let's say, Sony IMX882 sensor phones, okay, so it will give me a list of all those phones, okay. So you can see over here that these are the phone, that Vivo T3 5G, Xiaomi Redmi Turbo 3, okay. All these phones are low budget as well as medium budget phones. Yes, Realme 12 Pro 5G has this sensor, so I will search for Realme 12 Pro 5G, okay. Realme 12 Pro 5G main camera sensor, then it will give me the exact detail. You can see Sony IMX882, it is an advanced version. My phone is having let's say I told you my phone yes, it is having 682 and here it is 882, so it is an advanced version and definitely it will fetch you good images, okay. So this is how you have to search the aperture and the main camera sensor for the phones. This method is universal, you can search it for any phones, okay. So this is how you have to find out for any phones, okay. First you have to search, again I am showing you, first you have to search. Let's see if I talk about Oppo phones under 30,000 rupees, or you can enter in dollars also, okay. So it will show me, let's say Oppo Reno 10 Pro 5G, then Oppo Reno 11 5G, okay. Let's search for Oppo Reno 11 5G, Oppo Reno 11 5G specifications. Then you have to click on this GSM Arena site, okay, and you have to scroll down and come to the main camera. Here you can see that it has triple camera and the main camera is having 50 megapixels and it is f by 1.8. So again it is the same configuration as the earlier phone which I checked, okay, and this phone will also have the 30 seconds up to shutter speed range, and here it is 26mm wide, okay. One more thing, nowadays phones are also having this telephoto lens, okay. So it is also good. If you are buying this phone, you will have an additional advantage also, okay. So this is how you have to find out. And let's say if I check for the sensor of the main camera, what I get. Yes, it is having Sony IMX890. Yes, it has more advanced as compared to the earlier phone. It was 882, here it is 890. So this is how you have to search for the camera sensor as well as the aperture, and then you can get to know whether the phone is having high range of shutter speed or not and which sensor it is having. So this was the universal method which I talked about, and I hope that by this and you are now clear, okay. See, I have listed some of the phones in the description for different brands, let's say Oppo, the Samsung Galaxy, then this Poco, let's say Vivo, as well as the Realme, okay, and Redmi, okay. So you can just have a look at those phones and you can think of buying that if that phone falls in your budget range, okay. So this was about the parameters and the budget that you need to look upon while buying a phone for astrophotography. I hope that you are now clear by this end. And now let's see some of the images that I've captured by my phone and also some of the images that are captured by my friends. So here you can see it is Star Trail, our own Milky Way galaxy. Again it is Star Trail. This is the Cygnus arm of the Milky Way. See, you can see how detailed it is. It is looking somewhat similar to what we see in the night sky. Then we have the Andromeda galaxy. All these images are captured by me by using my smartphone, that is Poco X6. Now here are some of the images that are taken by my friend. Here you can see that I've also mentioned their Instagram ID. So if you want to follow them or you just need to, let's say I'm giving a big shout out to all those friends who have shared their images with me so that I can feature them. Okay, here the phone used is Galaxy F54, Milky Way is seen. You can see that even with light pollution you can get the good image, so it is let's say good to buy that phone. Here it is Realme 11 Pro 5G. You can see that 30-second shutter speed was set and it is 1600 ISO. Okay, totals 25 frames were stacked. Then we have iPhone images also. Okay, Stargazer and Milky Way. There, okay, here you can see that. See some iPhone. I will suggest that iPhone is having that 10-second maximum range, but if you keep it on tripod, then it may increase. Okay, here you can see the result of the iPhone. Then we have again Poco X3 Pro. Okay, star trails you can see over here. I also mentioned their Instagram ID. Okay, then we have the again Milky Way Galaxy. This is a single exposure shot, and here the phone used is Poco X3. So this is how you can get an idea that which phones are good. Here it is Galaxy M34 5G. Okay, somewhat similar to the first image if I talked about which phone was used. Okay, and here 100 frames were used. Okay, for get the final image. Then we have, yes, this is a new phone of Vivo series, IQOO Neo 6. Okay, total exposure time was 9 minutes and 42 seconds, and you can see that quite good image of Milky Way rising is having, okay, in this image. Then again it is Poco X3. You can see the star rails, they are very detailed. About 190 frames were used. Okay, you can see they are very good. Okay, so this was about the images that are captured by my friends. So once again, a big shout out to all those friends, and if you want to follow them, I have mentioned their Instagram IDs also in the images, so just let's say revert back and just you can follow them. So thank you for watching this video. I hope you are now clear regarding everything, but still if you have any doubt, just contact me on my Instagram ID. Okay, you can find out my Instagram in the description as well as you can see on the screen. So thank you for watching, and please share this video with your friends so that they can also get to know about which phone is better for let's say astrophotography. Thank you for watching.